It is a huge uphill battle. Imagine, we're working in a sector where there are folks, particularly in the C-suite, that often maybe are at the pinnacle of their career when they're learning the truth about America and the places in which they invest.
We have to kind of dig deeper to understand how we got to where we are and recognize truly where we are in order to come up with solutions and to address these problems.
In my case, we were starting from scratch. I was the, yet again white leader with a mostly white board in an institution that had been largely white-led and largely funding white-led nonprofits for most of our history, with some exceptions. And so I had to recognize where we were starting from, both internally and also how it would be received externally.
For us, I think the reality was that we acknowledged the need for education. And we needed to understand some of the structures and how we had gotten to this place of inequity, and to use a platform of educating the philanthropic community to move to action. The whole notion of race and racism that people say they know, oh, I get it. You don't learn it unless you go on a conscious learning journey.
It requires humility, it requires a lack of defensiveness, it requires not taking things personally and knowing that there's so much you don't know and being open to learning that. It requires a lot of personal work.
I think it's important to start with the real truth about organized wealth in this country.
Yes.
So if we start with questioning just the premise that foundations can really support the liberation of people, then I think we're starting at a different starting line.
We started shifting the way we hired a few years ago, a year after I came on board, and I realized that every person we had hired that year, regardless of position, was a white woman. We all have implicit bias that we don't know how it's manifesting in our searches. Let's find ways to eliminate that. This is a forever thing. So that's been a way that we've institutionalized it.
And it's just your time. Now is your time to actually move the ball forward. So the work doesn't stop. It's generational, and I think we've just got to figure out how to get more intentional about passing batons so that it builds on work that's been done before us.